Jimmy Kimmel has a failing late night show. You all know that. Only 120,000 people per night tuning in from the demo. But Kimmel now claims it's his constitutional right to be on ABC every single night. Is it true? Is it not? What is Disney to do? And how badly have they misplayed this against themselves? We've got answers right now. Hello and welcome back. It is a dandy of a day every time you come our way. An attitude of gratitude, folks, for clicking on the video. We plan to bring you a PhD level of understanding into the misunderstanding Disney has with the market. As we dive in, click the like button, share, subscribe. Folks, the time is ripe to click the hype button and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Here we go. Let's take on yet again Jimmy, not for the win. And out of The Guardian, Jimmy Kimmel says silencing comedians is anti-American as his show returns to air after suspension. The host monologue noted that the suspension of his late-night program had ignited a national debate over free speech. Now, what's interesting here, folks, is that Stephen Colbert has already been told he's fired. He's out. No more. His show is going out the door because of bad ratings and losing money. Jimmy Kimmel's ratings are worse. And we can presume and assume that Jimmy Kimmel has the same size staff as Kimmel does. So, well, folks, it's no laughing matter that Disney is likely losing even more money on Jimmy Kimmel than CBS was on Stephen Colbert. How much is Colbert losing? According to the trades, $40 million a year. So what's Jimmy losing? But Jimmy says that if he has to go away, that it's an attack on free speech. Let's talk about that. Jimmy Kimmel returned to air on Tuesday night, calling government threats to silence comedians anti-American, as he broke his silence about the suspension from ABC, which ignited a national debate over free speech and outcry over the bullying tactics of the Orange Man. This show is not important, Kimmel said during his first monologue since Disney, which owns ABC, suspended his late night show, and we agree with that. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this, he said. Interesting. Well, here's the issue. Christian, I'd like to go to you first on this. Jimmy Kimmel says that what is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this. I think it's actually anti-American. And the reason I think it's anti-American, Christian, is because this is a show that is failing. And there's a segment, a very vocal segment of our country that says you can't cancel this show for reasons outside of economics. Despite the fact that he might be losing tens of millions of dollars, despite the fact that his ratings have crashed 50% since January alone, despite the fact that he's on a trajectory to have, he's going to be beaten by the CW soon. Christian, they say, you can't send him home. He's unfireable. You can't terminate his contract. You can't refuse to renew because we can't lose Jimmy. And they claim, they conflate it with free speech. What say you?
Yeah, to quote the great philosopher John McClane, welcome to the party, pal. Where has he been for the last 8 years on free speech issues? I've talked to many comedians who have been censored and deplatformed and shadow banned on social media giants because they said the wrong jokes. Obviously, we just learned this week what the Biden administration was doing with free speech, pressuring Google to censor people on YouTube. There are so many free speech issues that have been going around the culture for years and years and years. And Captain Kimmel has been deadly quiet. Now, having said all that, two quick thoughts. One, what FCC Chair Brendan Carr said was not helpful, not good, not productive. Shouldn't have said it for sure when talking about sort of we'll do it the easy or the hard way. That was not good at all. And also what President Trump does, and I'm a Trump voter, not good at all. His blustery technique and the things he says about free speech, and we've got to shut him down and stuff. He doesn't follow up with those kind of comments, and thank goodness for that. But it gives people like Jimmy Kimmel ammunition, and it's just not right. So, let's talk about the actions going on and where has Jimmy Kimmel been? He's been sitting on his hands. He's been giggling over Tucker Carlson being fired. He's been giggling over Roseanne Barr being fired. He's been AWOL when Gina Carano was cruelly dumped by Disney. He's a phony and a fraud. He just is. Having said that, I don't want the government to censor him. I don't mind that he's back because I think that people should decide. But you're absolutely right about the contract situation. They are basically screwed at this point because they can't fire him now. So he's going to have to go through, I guess, March is when his contract expires, and they'll probably have to eat crow and just sign him to another contract, and they're going to keep losing money, and that's maybe the happy ending.
And okay, so this is there are lots of problems to this for Disney. So Christian, let's walk through them. One, he's now able to basically do whatever he wants to do. Whereas before, his bosses could have been a moderating force. They can't silence him anymore because he's unfireable.
Yeah.
The second problem with this is if they must now renew him or face the ire of the left, that's going to send him into the midterms. And when do we expect him to be most abrasive? Well, of course, as you get into the political races. So, Christian, this is on multiple fronts, worst case scenarios for Disney. But Bob Iger, we expect to leave being the head honcho of the House of Mouse next year. He won't have to clean this up. This goes to somebody else.
Yeah, it's amazing. It couldn't happen to a more worthwhile company. They've made their bed. I just love the fact that we've spent years on the right, people on the right were boycotting Disney for a variety of reasons. Now people on the left are saying boycott Disney. So I mean, it just the black comedy here is off the charts. But listen, at the end of the day, what Jimmy Kimmel has done, along with Kimmel and his friends, is they've transformed late night from a fun, easy way to kind of go to sleep at night, a way to kind of have fun conversations, enjoyable, banter, some jokes, some laughs, some smiles, into this serious, sober, lecture-filled collection of episodes. I mean, it's just, when was the last time he really made us laugh? When was the last time there was a genuine joke in there? And again, it's just spreading misinformation too.
Christian, they took it from a comedy to a funeral. They utterly transitioned the genre.
If I want to watch MSNBC, I'll watch MSNBC. Why would I watch them?
Right. No, yeah. Well, and maybe that's where he belongs. But Nat, here's the issue. Disney we've got headlines now saying that he broke records. Jimmy Kimmel had 6 million views. Okay, folks, the Super Bowl gets 100 plus. The Charlie Kirk Memorial had 100 plus. Jimmy Kimmel got 6 million views, and that's going to crash over the next few days. Nat, I think that sensible Americans, and I think sensible citizens of the world are still the significant majority. So I think Disney right now is in a 70-30 issue. There's 30% that are fervently determined that Jimmy should stay in the air, and 70% are either offended to the point they want him gone, or they're offended enough that they won't watch. That's an untenable position for Disney. Nat, have I got those numbers right? Do you think that maybe it's even worse? I don't know. What do you say about Jimmy mocking, a national tragedy and then making the national tragedy all about himself? How's that going to play out?
Well, I think with affiliates saying we know our people don't want to play it, we know our advertisers don't want to play it, but also, as you were saying, it has become more of a political, almost newsy kind of show. Instead of asking celebrities about what they ate on set and random stuff like that people can fall asleep to. So by making it into a more newsy, or at least delivering some sort of news through comedy or whatever they think on that jokes are, they are running into the purview of the FCC with the news distortion policy that has been there for the longest time, but hasn't been applied, or has been applied against one side more than the other, let's be frank. And with around the world, we do see, and we continue to see, a lot of censorship and a lot of, still, like in the UK, here in Mexico, everywhere it's happening, where people are actually losing their bank accounts, are losing their social media accounts, are losing their ability to actually have free speech. And the US is one of the last bastions of actual free speech. And by almost mocking the fact that, because I'm getting canceled out of, being able to broadcast nationally, even though he could still go to YouTube or wherever he wants. He could do this on Hulu, on streaming. He still has his voice. He can still complain. He's been complaining about it this whole time while he was canceled. And it was due to the threats that Disney, I believe, and ABC started getting from the other side, from the left, that they brought him back. So they were between a rock and a hard place when they chose which way they were going to fold. And it wasn't the way that I think most Americans and people around the world are happy with.
Let me put this in perspective, and you're exactly right. For everybody out there who's saying that Jimmy Kimmel broke records, he's doing amazing things. Jimmy Kimmel got 6 million views. The Price is Right is on every day, and it gets 4 million views on average. It's not far away, folks. It's Plinko. Plinko nearly beats Jimmy Kimmel on the biggest day of it. Anyway, folks, let's go to this. Vash, I'd like you to weigh in on this quote. And this is, I think, what really gives away the hubris of everything. This is from Jimmy Kimmel on the show that he returned to. Quote, "And most of all, I want to thank the people who don't support my show and what I believe. but support my right to share those beliefs anyway, Kimmel added. Vash, they want to pretend that if he can't host a late night show where he is losing millions and millions and millions of dollars, allegedly, they want to pretend that if he doesn't get to do that, if he can't burn $50 million or whatever a year and say things that are offensive, if he's not allowed to do that, and if you say, I don't actually think that's right, that you're not in the right, you're an evil person, and you're somehow against America by saying, I thought we kept you guys and hired you guys and fired you guys based on ratings. What's going on in this world?
I will admit, Pro, that I did check over the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and I couldn't find the passage there where you're entitled to a late night program hosted by a media company with failing ratings. I couldn't find that passage. Maybe that was left out or dropped by the founding fathers back in 1787, between 1789. There's a period there where it could have dropped off. Anywho's, it's ridiculous that the First Amendment is your right to speak, free from government intervention, yes, but it's at the public square. It doesn't entitle you to the airwaves, right? As it's controlled by the various networks. It doesn't entitle you to a failing late night show in which you have. I mean, he was the lowest of the late night programs out there. I mean, he was dead last. So of the big three anyway. And so it's like I understand why Jimmy Kimmel would want to make this a free speech issue. Definitely, you have a cause that everybody riles around, and let's go ahead, hoorah! This is some good stuff. But when you look at the record of Jimmy Kimmel, and I thought it was beautifully pointed out before by Toto and others that you look at the free speech record and how he just laughed in the face of Tucker Carlson, who was silenced, who didn't care at all, who made a mockery and jokes when the 45th president of the United States was silenced, when Parler was taken off the platform. You just go, all of this is hollow. All of this is to make Jimmy Kimmel himself the victim, when actually, in effect, he was making light of a real tragedy that did involve a true victim. That's really the character of Jimmy Kimmel that's revealed in this moment here.
Right, and they made it all about themselves. They somehow hijacked the story, and they made it all about themselves. I want to show one more thing before we wrap up the conversation, and everybody's welcome to join in and talk about this. Nobody in particular has to, but I'd love to get thoughts, anybody who wants to weigh in. If we look at the Nielsen ratings, okay, and this is in millions of views, Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, and I believe it's close, but I believe Family Feud. Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, and Family Feud, with nothing happening, beat Jimmy Kimmel. And we're supposed to sit around and pretend that he broke records and read the headlines and be amazed. Jimmy Kimmel's a record breaker now. He's great. And his views are going to absolutely fall off a cliff. And as the views fall off a cliff, Disney's going to have to sit there now with a show. I mean, he was getting 120,000 a demo. He's probably going to get 70 or 80 now. Maybe I'm misreading this. Maybe he's going to become the left's icon. But I think he might be down at 70 or 80,000 the demo going forward. And Disney's going to be stuck with this guy where if you do anything to say, gosh, we can't keep him on the air, they're going to scream free speech. Folks, I'm here to tell you, I think what we've discussed is it's not a free speech issue. It's a you suck at your job issue, Jimmy. Bob, let go of Jimmy. Let go of the Jimmy.
Yeah,
Panel?
It's a complete misframing, and it's misframing in order to score political points, and also to jab at his favorite punching bag, that being Donald Trump, the 45th and 47th president of the United States. He took Charlie Kirk's death and used it as a punching bag against the supporters of Trump and Trump himself, right? And he remember the goldfish comment and so forth. And then what does he do after his little monologue there? He uses it to jab at Trump again and again and again. And then later on, he talked about the whole, I think I could say it on the airwaves, I believe, the Tylenol situation, right? And played a whole little montage there with the recent press conference that happened there, as if to say, don't trust the science. Don't listen to the administration and what they say. Don't listen to the CDC, NIH, or other FDA, other officials. Let me go ahead and punch Trump on that even further. There's no level he'll stoop lower than. It's just to get one shot at Trump, and that's what. So for him, ratings, great, fantastic, awesome. For Disney, this is all not a good look, and everybody's responding thusly.
There you go. All right, folks, go ahead.
Can I add one quick thing? You know, the reports in the media were that the Late Show, the Colbert Show, is losing $40 million a year. Let's just say that's grossly exaggerated. Let's just say it's only losing $8 million a year. Why in the world would a major company put on a TV show that was losing $8 million a year? Let's just take any, set a worst case scenario. It's not nearly as devastating a loss as that. What is the advantage of that? I mean, maybe if you have CBS TV shows, you can get your actors on that show, maybe. But why would any company lose that much money? And by the way, Megyn Kelly had a great clip on Jimmy Kimmel where he once said, like a year and a half ago, that he's got teams of fact checkers behind him, that when he puts out a monologue, it's very true. Oh, yeah. And on the rare occasion he makes a mistake, he will go out and apologize. And he made a huge mistake at the worst possible time, and he wouldn't apologize, even though he was given an entire week to craft that apology.
And Christian, you posted that Megyn Kelly clip on your website. And in a video previously this week, we read from your article on the channel and played the Megyn Kelly clip. So you have been very helpful in us in parsing out what's going on. We appreciate that.
Well,
you're exactly right.
Well,
you're exactly right, though, Christian. Why would a company like CBS, which CBS has confirmed it's in the tens of millions, they wouldn't confirm the exact number. Yeah. They said it was tens of millions of dollars he's losing. Okay, so tens of millions says to me, maybe I'm wrong, but it's got to be at least 20. But maybe it's 11. They just call that tens. That's a weird thing to do. But Christian, why would you keep something like that if there also is no hope of it turning around? Right. It's just getting worse.
Yeah. The revenue in late night is going like this.
Right. And Disney's got the same problem with Kimmel. But now you can't get rid of him, or else you hate the Constitution. You know, we really hope that you felt this video was satisfactual. We know we had an actual good time participating and communicating with each and every one of you out there listening. It is a great honor, it is a great pleasure, even a responsibility to do this on a daily basis. You give us the dream job we love doing, and for that we can never say thank you enough. There's only one small favor we ask beyond what has already been done, and that is, folks, consider it. That is clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those pesky algorithms. It's the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. Let us know your thoughts, because your thoughts do indeed matter, no matter what the mainstream media would otherwise say. Folks, as we say every single time we end these videos, because we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun. Jump into the water!
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.